This is a billionaire's kid. Private jets to school, million-dollar birthday parties, and maybe a trust fund waiting at 25. Now this is a trillionaire's kid. Custom-built nations, $500 billion inheritances, and security details that rival world governments. From trust fund babies to literal royalty who own entire economies, we're comparing how the children of the ultra-wealthy live versus how the children of the 0.0001% dominate. And the gap? It's not even close. Most of us remember getting our first car, maybe a used Honda Civic or your dad's old pickup truck. You were grateful just to have wheels. But when you're born into billions, that first car hits different. Take the billionaire kids we know about. These aren't your average rich kids. We're talking about children whose parents are worth hundreds of millions to low billions. Their first cars are statements. A custom Ferrari for their 16th birthday, maybe a Lamborghini wrapped in their favorite colors. These kids get vehicles that cost more than most people's houses. But here's where it gets interesting. Even among billionaire kids, there are levels. Take Rashed Belhassa, better known as Money Kicks. This billionaire teen, son of construction magnate Saeed Ahmed Belhassa, worth over $2 billion, didn't just get a nice car for his 15th birthday. He got a Ferrari F12 Berlinetta worth $320,000, which he immediately had wrapped in a Louis Vuitton Supreme design. He couldn't even legally drive it at the time. But that wasn't the point. The point was the flex. His car collection, which includes Bugattis and Lamborghinis, is worth an estimated $2 million. And when he finally could drive, he upgraded to a Rolls-Royce Ghost customized with a deer logo to match his sneaker brand. For billionaire kids, cars aren't just transportation. They're rolling advertisements for their family's wealth. But trillionaire kids, they don't just get expensive cars. They get cars that rewrite the rules of what's possible. When you're part of a royal family controlling trillions in national wealth, your first car isn't just expensive, it's historically significant. Take the children of Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, whose family controls an estimated $1.4 trillion in wealth. These kids don't just get any luxury vehicle, they get chauffeured in armored vehicles that cost upwards of $400,000 each. Mobile fortresses with bulletproof glass, run-flat tires, and communication systems that can patch directly into government intelligence networks. But even that pales in comparison to what Middle Eastern royalty provides for their children. The kids of Dubai's ruling family have access to custom Rolls-Royce Phantoms and Bentley Mulsannes that cost over $1 million each. These vehicles come with their own security convoys and are so exclusive that the manufacturers don't even acknowledge they exist publicly. The difference is clear. Billionaire kids get expensive cars. Trillionaire kids get cars that function like mobile command centers. But cars are just the beginning. Let's talk about where these kids actually live. Because the gap between a billionaire's mansion and a trillionaire's compound is like comparing a luxury hotel to an entire city. Billionaire kids grow up in mansions that would make most of us weep with envy. These aren't just big houses, they're architectural marvels. Take the children of tech billionaires and entertainment moguls. They live in homes with basketball courts, bowling alleys, and movie theaters that rival actual cinemas. Most have outdoor pools, wine cellars with bottles worth more than luxury cars, and smart home technology that responds to their every command. Some billionaire mansions have heated driveways, so the kids never have to deal with snow, private gyms with professional-grade equipment, and guest houses that are bigger than most people's primary residences. These homes often sit on dozens of acres, giving the kids space to ride ATVs, play sports, or just enjoy privacy that money can buy. But trillionaire kids don't live in houses. They live in compounds that function like small cities. Take the children of Abu Dhabi's Al Nahyan family, whose personal family fortune is estimated at around $300 billion. But when you factor in national assets they control, it climbs into the trillions. These kids don't just have a nice house. They have access to Qasr Al Watan, their presidential palace. This isn't just a big house, it's a technological and architectural marvel. The palace features a massive 37-meter-wide dome above the Great Hall and a chandelier made from 350,000 pieces of crystal. The interiors are decorated in gold, marble, and intricate mosaics. The presidential banquet hall showcases collections of silver, crystal, and china that most museums would envy. While the exact value isn't publicly disclosed, its grandeur and scale suggest a valuation in the billions of dollars, but that's just their main residence. The Al Nahyan family also spends time in their luxurious homes along Al Raha Beach in Abu Dhabi. This waterfront development spans over 5.2 million square meters and offers some of the most exclusive properties in the UAE. The royal children have access to villas in gated communities like Al Zaina and Al Muna, with properties reaching up to 28,664 square feet. These homes often come with private beaches, and some of the villas are valued at $4 million or more. The difference is staggering. Billionaire kids live in dream homes. Trillionaire kids live in architectural wonders that function like private kingdoms. But let's talk about something every parent stresses about: education. Because even the wealthy worry about giving their kids the best start in life. Billionaire kids attend elite private schools that cost more than most people's annual salaries. We're talking about institutions like Harvard Westlake in Los Angeles, where tuition runs $45,000 per year, or exclusive boarding schools in Switzerland that cost even more. These schools have Olympic-sized pools, professional-grade theaters, and teacher-to-student ratios that would make Ivy League colleges jealous. The networking opportunities alone are worth millions. These kids go to school with the children of other billionaires, celebrities, and world leaders. They're not just getting an education, they're building relationships that will serve them for life. But Trillionaire kids don't just attend elite schools. They have educational systems built specifically around them. Take the children of Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. Their education isn't just about learning, it's about preparing to inherit and manage a trillion-dollar empire. These kids have access to private tutors who are experts in everything from international finance to geopolitics. They learn multiple languages, not as a hobby, but as a necessity for managing global investments and diplomatic relationships. Some trillionaire families create their own schools. The children of certain Middle Eastern royal families have access to educational institutions that exist solely for royal children, with curricula designed around their future roles as leaders of nations and managers of sovereign wealth funds. The gap is enormous. Billionaire kids get premium educations. Trillionaire kids get educations that are literally designed around their future roles as world leaders. Now let's talk about something that really separates the wealthy from the impossibly wealthy: how these kids spend their free time and develop their interests. Billionaire kids have hobbies that would make most adults jealous. They collect rare sneakers worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, like Rashid Belhassa's million-dollar sneaker collection that includes Air Jordan 13 sneakers signed by Michael Jordan and Nike Air Yeezy, two Red Octobers valued at over $30,000. They have access to professional recording studios, acting coaches, and connections throughout whatever industry interests them. Some billionaire kids turn their hobbies into businesses. Rashed didn't just collect sneakers and exotic animals, he turned his lifestyle into a YouTube channel with nearly 4 million subscribers, generating massive revenue from videos showcasing his private zoo and rare sneaker collection. These kids are living experiences that most adults would pay thousands for. But trillionaire kids operate on a completely different scale. The children of Middle Eastern royalty don't just have hobbies. They have interests that can reshape entire industries. Take the kids of Dubai's Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. They don't just ride horses. They compete internationally in equestrian sports with Arabian thoroughbreds worth millions of dollars each. When they're interested in technology, they don't just buy the latest gadgets. Their families invest billions in tech startups and shape the future of entire industries. The children of Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman have access to his $500 billion public investment fund. When they show interest in a particular field, their family doesn't just buy them lessons, they buy entire companies in that space. The difference is clear. Billionaire kids have expensive hobbies. Trillionaire kids have interests that can reshape entire economies. But here's where things get really serious. Let's talk about the security that surrounds these kids, because this is where you really see the gap between billions and trillions. Billionaire kids have security, sure. They might have bodyguards for public events and secure transportation to and from school. Their homes have advanced security systems, and their schools coordinate with security teams for safe drop-offs and pickups. But this is still recognizably normal security. These kids can still have friends over, participate in school activities, and live relatively normal lives with some modifications. But trillionaire kids live in a completely different reality. Take the children of Abu Dhabi's royal family. Their protection isn't just security, it's a military operation. Every location they visit is swept in advance by counter-terrorism experts. Their daily routines are planned with precision that rivals presidential security details. They can't go anywhere without extensive security protocols that include former special forces operatives from multiple countries. The children of Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman have protection that costs tens of millions annually and includes everything from armored vehicles to private aircraft with defensive systems. Their security isn't just protection, it's a reality that shapes every aspect of their lives. They can't have normal friendships, attend regular events, or experience the world the way most children do. The contrast is stark. Billionaire kids have bodyguards, trillionaire kids have security operations that rival small nations. But perhaps the biggest difference between billionaire kids and trillionaire kids isn't what they have, it's what they're expected to become. Billionaire kids often have the luxury of choice. They can follow their passions, pursue creative careers, or even rebel against their parents' success. Look at the children of Hollywood stars who become artists, musicians, or activists. They have the financial security to take risks and explore their interests because their parents' wealth gives them a safety net, not a predetermined destiny. These kids have the freedom to define their own success. Some become entrepreneurs, others become philanthropists, and some choose to live relatively quiet lives away from the spotlight. The money gives them options. Trillionaire kids face a completely different reality. They're not just inheriting money, they're inheriting empires, responsibilities, and expectations that would crush most adults. Look at the children of Middle Eastern royal families. They're not just inheriting wealth, they're inheriting the responsibility for entire nations. From childhood, their lives are planned around their future roles as leaders of countries that control significant portions of the world's energy resources. The children of Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman aren't just learning about business. They're learning about managing a sovereign wealth fund worth $500 billion and overseeing projects like NEOM, the $500 billion futuristic megacity being built in the desert. Their education, social connections, and even their personal relationships are all viewed through the lens of their future responsibilities. The most extreme example is royal children who will inherit constitutional monarchies. These kids aren't just inheriting wealth, they're inheriting the responsibility for entire civilizations. From birth, their lives have been planned around their future roles as leaders of nations. The difference is profound. Billionaire kids inherit opportunities. Trillionaire kids inherit destinies. But here's what might surprise you. Despite all this wealth and privilege, many trillionaire families are actually trying to raise their kids with some sense of responsibility and purpose. Take the approach of some Middle Eastern royal families. Despite their unimaginable wealth, they emphasize the importance of education, hard work, and giving back to their communities. The children of Abu Dhabi's Al Nahyan family are taught that their wealth comes with obligations to society. They're expected to use their resources to improve the lives of their people and contribute to global progress. Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's children are being raised to understand that their family's wealth isn't just for personal enjoyment, it's a tool for transforming Saudi Arabia and positioning it as a global leader in technology, sustainability, and innovation. These trillionaire parents understand something crucial. Unlimited wealth and power can be as much a curse as a blessing. They're trying to give their children the advantages of their position while preparing them for the enormous responsibilities that come with it. But not all trillionaire families take this approach. Some embrace the lifestyle completely. The children of certain royal families live in a world where every desire is instantly fulfilled, where they have staff whose only job is to anticipate their needs, and where they have access to resources that most nations would envy. The contrast creates an interesting paradox. Some of the world's most powerful families are desperately trying to give their children normal childhoods and a sense of purpose, while others embrace the extraordinary nature of their circumstances completely. But here's the reality that both billionaire and trillionaire kids face: the weight of expectation and public scrutiny that comes with their family names. Billionaire kids deal with pressure, but it's usually manageable. They might face expectations to succeed in their chosen fields, maintain the family reputation, or give back to their communities. But they can still largely control their own narratives and make their own choices. Trillionaire kids live under a microscope that never turns off. Every decision they make, every relationship they form, every mistake they commit becomes a matter of national interest. Their successes are attributed to their family's power, and their failures can have geopolitical implications. Take the children of Middle Eastern royal families who've grown up during the rise of social media. Every photo, every comment, every social media post is analyzed by intelligence agencies, foreign governments, and international media. They can't have normal teenage experiences because everything they do reflects on their family's trillion-dollar empires and their nation's standing in the world. This level of scrutiny creates a strange reality. These kids have access to everything money and power can buy, but they can't buy privacy, normalcy, or the freedom to make mistakes without global consequences. The psychological impact of growing up under this level of scrutiny and responsibility can't be underestimated. Many trillionaire kids struggle with identity issues, wondering whether their achievements are their own or simply products of their family's wealth and power. But perhaps the most telling difference between billionaire and trillionaire kids isn't in what they have. It's in what they're taught about responsibility. Billionaire kids are often taught to be grateful for their advantages and to work hard to maintain them. They learn that wealth is something to be earned and preserved. They're encouraged to find their passion and pursue it, knowing they have the financial security to take risks. Trillionaire kids are taught something entirely different, that wealth and power come with obligations to society and to history. They're taught that their resources aren't really theirs. They're tools they're expected to use for the greater good of their nations, and in some cases, the world. This creates the ultimate irony. The wealthiest children in the world are often taught that their money and power isn't really theirs. It's a responsibility they're expected to manage for future generations. The gap between billionaire kids and trillionaire kids isn't just about money. It's about the fundamental difference between having wealth and being responsible for the fate of nations. From custom sneaker collections to sovereign wealth funds, from private schools to preparing to rule countries, the difference between billionaire kids and trillionaire kids isn't just a matter of scale. It's a completely different species of human experience. The billionaire kids get to be rich. The trillionaire kids have to be legends. But what you just watched took over 15 hours to research, verify, and write. If you want more deep dives into the fascinating lives of the wealthy and powerful, check out the videos on your screen. We've got stories that'll blow your mind. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.